Melinda Bige is the chairperson of KPU's Indigenous Studies Department. Claudia Cully will now ask Melinda about her experience in the KPU community. When did you join the KPU community and why?
I'm actually a long-time member of the community, so I did my undergraduate degree at KPU. I began as a student for one reason, and I was in retail. I've been doing retail for about 10 years. And I had the option to go to university, and I was tired of retail, so I went to KPU. And I came back because one of my colleagues and one of my really good friends and mentors at the time, Lisa Monchlin, sent a job posting to me, and I applied. And I actually didn't think I would get it because I was just out of my master's degree. And then they invited me on, and I've just been around since. It's a great job to do when you're raising children.
What is your favorite story of your time at KPU?
I have a lot of good memories at KPU, actually. So to narrow down is really hard, but going off of the top of my head, I think one would be, I'm going to give you one from being a student and one from being an instructor. My favorite one from being a student was Lisa Monchlin and I did the first salmon barbecue, and it was such a huge success, and there were so many people that had attended and were fed and were happy, and it was just a really wonderful time. And the Kwantlen First Nation community came, and it was just incredible. I think that was in 2008 or 9. And then the second one as an instructor was in the classroom. I had two students who have origins in India, who were sharing stories about the Queen's jewel in her crown, so the British Queen, and how she acquired it was because there are two brothers from India who were in love with her. That's the story as it goes. And they fought over their love for her, and she got this stone. And there's also conversations about how the Queen actually stole it. But that these two students, they learned in my class that they are descendants of the brothers. Comes from one of the family lines and one comes from the other family line. And so in our classroom, a lot of the students, well, all students are required to do some ancestral work and learn about who they are and where they come from. But that beautiful story happened in my classroom, and we all got to witness it that entire class.
What's something you'd like to say to people new to the community?
I think it depends on where you come from and how you're going to adjust to the community. And also, it's really important to note that KPU is really diverse. And so there's a spot in the university for everyone. And not every university, I think, can say that. I think KPU absolutely can say that. And if you have an interest or you're finding whatever your niche is, it's a beautiful community to try out your skills and your passion and make a leader out of yourself, and just go for it.
What are you working on right now?
I'm always working on 100 things. So right now we launched the journal last year. So we have a journal, octopusjournal.com, and it's full of student papers. Most of them have been done in my classroom, and a few of them were submitted openly, and it's a student-centered journal, BIPOC run and BIPOC priority, and we're coming out with our second issue sometime. My husband and I are working on an online store to sell some of our art, and then currently I just stepped into the role of chairperson for the department, which is the first chairperson of the official Indigenous Studies department on its own, and I get to work with Shelley Boyd and the Dean's office to formulate that, so that's really great.
What is something you would like people to know about you?
So I think I tell all of my students this, and it helps because students have very busy lives. They come from all walks of life, and because of where KPU is situated, Surrey is a predominantly working class environment. I come from a working class environment. I was homeless at 15, and I worked my way through my high school experience, and it brought me to KPU. And I have been through a ridiculous amount of obstacles in my lifetime, I come from a mom who was scooped at birth, from part of the 60s scoop, and two grandparents who survived residential schools. And we didn't grow up knowing their experiences. And so I share that because a lot of students come in the doors with all kinds of experiences and all kinds of heartache and traumas, and they don't really know where to rest their head. And so I just want to let them know that if they can work at finding what they love and take the time to do it in university, they can really achieve anything. And I've seen it. I've seen a lot of students do it, and that if you work at it, you can find your safe place.